Hey, Tim Streifler here, and if you are watching this video, it's probably because your Divi contact form is not sending emails. It is a super common problem, and I'm going to show you how to fix it. Now, if you want to skip ahead and go right to the solution, the part of the video where I actually show you what to do to solve the problem, then you can go and click the timestamps in the description, and it'll take you right there. I have the chapter titles laid out for you, but I want to give a little bit of background about why this is an issue, and it's super frustrating, right? Whether you are building a website for yourself or for a client, maybe your client has called you up and said, hey, my leads aren't coming in. People are trying to contact me and I'm not getting their responses. Help. And it's super frustrating. And again, it's a super common problem. Now, here's the thing. It's not actually a Divi problem. It's actually not a WordPress problem either. It's more of a hosting problem. Now, before you go and jump ship with your web host and find a new, more expensive web host, I'm going to explain what you can do to fix it without having to change hosts. Now, essentially, where the problem lies is that web hosts were not designed to send emails. They're designed to serve websites to visitors. Right? So that's what they do. That's what they're optimized for. They're not really designed to send emails. They can send emails, but they shouldn't always be sending emails. And so what we're going to do instead to solve the problem is we're going to outsource email sending to another service that is designed to send emails. And so we're going to alleviate your WordPress site from having to send emails, and we're going to outsource it to another service that does it really well. And so again, this isn't a Divi issue. It's not a WordPress issue. It's a web host, web server, web technology issue, really. And so you shouldn't have WordPress or your host doing things that they're not designed to do. And so let's go ahead and solve the problem. Now, if you are in the back end of your website, you can follow along with me. And so I'm going to go ahead and click over here and go to dashboard. And what we're going to do is we're going to install a plugin. So you might have heard the acronym SMTP before, but essentially that is the protocol, that is the technology that we're using to send the emails through. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go to plugins and type in SMTP, and you'll see a bunch of different plugins. There is a lot, and it's overwhelming. And so really, pretty much any of these should do the trick. I'm going to give you my recommendation here in a second, but essentially what you're looking for is a plugin that lets you connect to the service of your choice. If you don't have a service of choice, I'm going to make a recommendation for you. Now, WP Mail SMTP is the most popular in terms of installs, but I don't recommend it simply because they don't have the logging functionality in the free version, and which that means when an email gets sent through your website, through a contact form, through an email receipt, through a password reset, whatever, it doesn't log it, right? And so you have to upgrade to the paid version to get that. And so it's a useful feature for tracking down emails to see, okay, well, did the email get sent or was it just not received, right? Is the issue with the website that's sending the email or the service that's sending the email, or is the issue with the inbox, right? If your client's saying I'm not getting emails, and you can show them, hey, they're being sent. And so the logging feature can be a really good thing. So Fluent SMTP has that. And so the free version has all of the features. And so they have it right here. The Fluent SMTP plugin is 100% free and open source. We'll never monetize it, right? It's part of their bigger strategy. They're trying to get you to use their other paid products. So there's no upsell to a premium version. All the features are included for free. And so it allows you to connect to a bunch of different services here, and you can choose which one you want to do, which one you want to send your email through. And so I'm going to recommend SendGrid. Now, the reason why I'm recommending SendGrid is they have a free plan for $0 a month. It only allows you to send 100 emails a day through the service. And so it's not a lot, but for a basic site starting out, a few contact form submissions, it shouldn't be a big deal. But as your website or your client's website gets more popular, then you're going to need to upgrade to a paid plan or move it to a different service. And so, and you might be thinking, oh, 100 emails, that sounds a lot. Like I'm not sending marketing emails, which is true. This is not for sending marketing emails, but any email that comes through WordPress is going to get counted. So if you forget your password reset, if you get a new comment on a blog post, right? And WordPress gives you an email, sends you an email to moderate the comment. That's another email. If it's an e-commerce store, you get an email from your store saying a new order has come in, your client or your customer gets an email receipt. That's another email. So there's a lot of different things that you don't even think about that are emails within WordPress, right? And so this can get used up really quickly. But this is what I recommend, at least for getting started, because they do have that initial plan that is completely free. Now you can, and you might have heard people do this before, send emails through a free Gmail account, and you can essentially hook your website up to a free Gmail account and send emails through that. And I'm not going to show you how to do that in this email. And the reason why is it's not recommended by Google. They don't want you to do that. It's just kind of a roundabout loophole. And so they discourage you from doing it. And so you can get the account shut down if you have too many emails sending through there. And so it's not really a recommended professional solution for email sending. And so I don't typically recommend it for that reason. Now, the setup process of creating a SendGrid account is super simple. You just put in your information, email. You don't even have to put in a credit card to use this plan. And so I already set up the account. Now, the first thing you have to do is set up, and this is just a dummy account for this tutorial. The first thing that you need to do when you set up SendGrid is enable an email sender, right? Who's sending the email? You have to verify the domain name. And so it's part of the initial screen, but for some reason, if you skip past it, you can go over here to sender authentication, and you can see I verified this email address of mine, and so you can add additional ones if you want. And so you just have to verify that you are able to send through that email. And so they make you verify the email address. And then once you do that, the next step is going to be under API keys. But let's go back to the plugin first. So I'm going to go ahead and install the plugin. Activate it. Now, one thing worth noting is this is a local site. I'm using Flywheel Local to spin up this site. And so there's no email sending at all. And so this website won't send any emails unless I set up a service like this. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is go to settings, or you'll notice there was that button to configure Fluent SMTP. And so you can see all the different services. So if you're not using SendGrid, just choose the one that you are using. You can do other SMTP if it's not like one of the services they have integrated with. So we'll go ahead and hit SendGrid. Now, the from email is the email that's going to be sending the email. You want the emails to be from, right? And now what's important is you need to make sure that this is the email that you verified with SendGrid. I'm just going to go ahead and add my name here. And then this is the API key. So we'll go ahead and go back to SendGrid. And I already have this copied. And so you can create a new API key and then just give it full permissions, so full access. You can give it a name, whatever, and then it'll generate the key for you. And so I'm going to go ahead and paste this in here and go to Save Connection Settings. Now, that's all you have to do. Now, this is enabled by default to log emails for reporting purposes. And so definitely recommend doing that. And then if you want to test to make sure that you set it up right, which I highly recommend, then you want to go over here to Email Test tab in Fluent SMTP. And then put in the email that you want to send to, and then if you want to be an HTML email or not, and then you click Send Test. And so I already sent myself a test here, so you can see what it looks like. For whatever reason, their logos aren't showing up in the test email, but this is an HTML email. You can send a plain text if you want, but you'll notice it says it's from me via SendGrid, right? Because it's being sent through SendGrid. which is pretty cool. So that's it. Super simple. Now your website is sending its emails through SendGrid, or if you set up another service, instead of through the web server. And in my case, because I'm using a local website, I can't even send any emails regardless. And so I have to use a service like this if I wanted to test things out while the website is still local instead of on a live server. So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you could do me a favor and give me a thumbs up and let me know your thoughts on the video. Let me know if you found it useful, if it helped you, or if you have any questions. And then also go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I am ramping up to just pump out more and more tutorials in the coming days, weeks, months, and years. So you definitely don't want to miss out on those. And make sure you hit that bell icon so that YouTube will automatically send you a notification when I publish a new video. I would greatly appreciate it. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you on the next tutorial. Take care. Bye-bye.